My name is Lizzie Bray and I am a worldwide travel consultant at Classic Collection Holidays. I know I shouldn't have favourites, but I'm afraid to say the Maldives is my favourite place in the world to go. It really is a fantastic place to fly and flop, or if you're really into snorkeling, diving, boat trips, whatever you'd like to do whilst you're there, it is an absolute must if you can, once in your lifetime at least. Although whenever you look at Maldives, you know, when you're having a quick search on Google, they all look the same, the islands. I'm sorry to say they aren't, and I'm afraid you do might need a little bit of help from ourselves. Some people worry that they might get cabin fever and they feel they may get bored. That's not the case. There are so many other islands out there which you can do a two-centre, should you like to, in case you do want a change of scene during a week or two. Or you can have lots of different restaurants and lots of activities, tennis, water sports, absolutely everything there as well, which works really well. A question I'm regularly asked is, should I stay on the beach or should I stay over water in the Maldives? Now, everyone has this very, very romantic idea that whenever you go to the Maldives, it must be over water. And yes, I agree, it's incredible. And if you do have the chance, I recommend, even if you do a split stay, going on the beach first of all and ending up in water villa for the last few nights. It's a definite must do if you can, because whichever one you're on, you always wish you tried out the other. So if you do a little half and half, then it's perfect and you get the best of both worlds. Some people get a little bit worried which to choose, whether it's the sunrise or the sunset, or they put in special requests for it. Now, both have their plus points. Most people will expect that they want to do the sunset side of things, which, yes, is very romantic and it's great before you sort of, go and have your bath and things and get ready for supper. But if you do think that it is important to you, let us know either way which you prefer. But the sunrise, you get all your sunbathing in the morning, and then you pop off to the bar, ready for sundowner, ready to go and have your nice cocktail and things to watch the sun go down, along with the pool area or wherever you might be going with all the other guests, which is pretty special in itself because a lot of these places have sunset bars which you can sit out on the amazing netting as well and watch the sun go down together, which is superb. With regards to the beach, I would say it's lovely once you've had supper, you can walk down the beach, see all the little ghost crabs, and the crabs are running and scuttling around and things before you go back to your room. We all have mobile phones in this day and age, so you can use your torch walking down the beach, which actually in itself is a great fun experience after your supper. I would say anyone with young children, I would say please go on the beach anyway, just on the health and safety side of things. A lot of the hotels do ask you to sign a disclaimer if the children are under 12. Some of the hotels are very clever with the safety aspect, making sure that the doors and things can be closed out to the balcony and it isn't a risk, but it's just something we do like to mention first of all. My favourite thing about being on the beach is being able to get up in the morning, literally half asleep, take your coffee, which let's face it, most of these hotels have a lovely espresso machine now, take your lovely coffee down to the water's edge and literally just look at the beautiful turquoise sea and that pristine white sand and which shells have been brought in overnight and just the fantastic views that you get. Once in a lifetime things to do are things like the beach bubble experience, which is brilliant at Finaloo. That's a really fun thing to do if you want something just a little bit different. And let's face it, with social media at the moment, everybody's very much enjoying putting all these posts and things up and these sort of places to go. It's very much Insta on that side of things. It's very sort of chic, quite young, and a great place to go if you want something just a little bit different. One of my favourite things that I've managed to do in the Maldives, which was actually a surprise from my fiancé, he very kindly set up a very romantic supper for me at Gili Lankan Fushi. They do a little barbecue just for you, so you have the chefs on the beach and obviously the lovely waiters as well that bring everything to you. But it's just such a romantic setup, feet in the sand, under the stars, it literally doesn't get better than that. Another lovely thing that Gili do very well is on the water villas. It's very much three walls is probably my best way to describe it. When you go into the bathroom itself, it's all very much open plan, you're over water. So pretty much you can be in the shower or you can be doing your makeup or something by the mirror and suddenly you'll spot a shark or perhaps a little turtle or anything else that might sort of pop up to sort of see you, and it's a really lovely concept. Another lovely thing to do in the Maldives is staying at the Pullman. Now, one thing that I recommend to you all, if you have the chance to stay in the Aqua Villa. When you arrive, you go in, you think, oh, this is a normal water villa. It's got a beautiful pool and a decking where you sunbathe and things. And then you turn left, out away from the actual bedroom, and you go down this little double staircase, which you think, crumbs, where am I going? And lo and behold, it is an amazing second bedroom, which is downstairs, where you pretty much sleep and watch like you're in an aquarium while sleeping, which is just such a fabulous concept. Trying to sleep, I didn't sleep till at least 2 in the morning because I was spotting all the lemon sharks. At one point I managed to get 3 on camera, sort of chasing one another and going for their prey. It's obviously shark feeding time at that time. We saw the amazing lionfish, which they have 2 under there, and it's just so special and nothing I've ever done before. Other underwater experiences which are great in the Maldives is Harawali. They have a lovely underwater restaurant, and my other favourite that I've stayed at in the last year was the Anantara Kiava. Now they have a fantastic underwater restaurant with this massive fish. I think it's probably the biggest I've seen apart from when I've been diving, that literally sort of pretty much resident down there. But they do a fantastic pairing of wines as well. So the food down there is exceptional. The easiest way to get to the Maldives is with the BA flight, which we're thrilled because they have started putting on more regular flights recently. Really easy, 10 hours, 50 minutes, door to door. Very, very simple to get there, and that is probably the easiest if you've got children, for example, and you want just ease really. They've also got the economy, World Travel Plus, business, and they've also got the first route now as well, depending on the plane on the day, so we can always check that for you if you'd like us to. Other routes you can take indirect, which you can take Emirates via Dubai, you can take Etihad via Abu Dhabi, you can take Qatar via Doha, and then you can take Sri Lankan Airlines as well via Sri Lanka, which is nice and easy as well because it's about 10 hours, 50 minutes to get there and just a 1 hour hop when you're going across to the Maldives. That's one of my other favourites as well, is if you want to do a 2-centre to do a week in Sri Lanka and then a week in the Maldives. They work extremely well together because the flights work very well for that. As is if you would like to go to Dubai, Abu Dhabi or Doha to do a twin centre on the way to the Maldives. So some people like to do it on the way, others like to do it on the way back. I would recommend you ask us at the time of year what it's going to be. Say for example, if it's our summer months, I would do Dubai on the way home because obviously it's going to be very, very hot at that time of year and you don't want to be going to the Maldives second and feeling like it's a little bit cooler because you've had these extreme temperatures in the Middle East. But those are all ideas how to get there, very simple. The other end, when you get there, you can either go by boat, you can do the domestic flight, or you can do seaplane. Now, lots of people have this romantic idea about doing seaplane, and I would say yes, in your lifetime, you should definitely do it. And, you know, looking down at the atolls out of the little window and actually seeing these beautiful islands, you know, the sand in amongst the turquoise blues that you can see below you is one of the best things that you'll probably remember for the rest of your lives. So I do recommend it if you can. But do not get too hung up on that because there are the slight downfalls with the seaplane as well, is the timings of flights and what time you need to leave the island because they're daylight hours only. They don't have lights like they do with domestic flights and being able to get you back in time. So if you do want something quick and easy, take the BA flight and then just quickly get a boat transfer, very simple, hop off to your island, nothing like having the wind in your hair when you've had a long flight and then getting to your island very quickly. If not, domestic flight also works very well. The reason being people do have domestic flights is these are in the atolls that are slightly further away because where the seaplane can't get to because it's a bit too far. Now the plus point with that is you'll probably get better snorkeling. There's less humans that go there all the time, there's less boats, there's less things that ruin the marine life, so you will have better corals. When we recently went by domestic flight to the Pullman and also the Raffles Hotel, for the first time in all the times I've been to the Maldives, I spotted dolphins whilst snorkeling just off the drop-off, so did my fiance, and it was incredible, and I've never seen that anywhere else in any of the atolls. Please do let us know the sort of must-haves for you for your holiday, whether it's going to be a family breakaway, it's going to be a honeymoon, it's going to be somewhere you'd like to propose, it's whether you'd like to go as a singleton and meet other people whilst you're there, what kind of concepts you're looking for, and whether you want modern, traditional, that beautiful sort of water villa style with the sort of straw hut feel, or whether you want something a little bit more sort of art deco, let's say with concrete, straight lines, white linen, what is it that you're looking for, and we will find the perfect island for you.